Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Shenanigans. For the umpteenth time, we're having technical issues. Quick recap on what you missed so far. The dog attacked, and it missed. And Shag tried to jump on the dog, but instead of landing on the dog, his chain went taut, and he fell on his ass. And then Bastian kicked the dog in the face for 4 points of damage. And we're moving
temporary damage, since it's martial arts.
1 3/4 are temporary? 1/4 is real?
I don't know. At least it won't die from it.
Yeah. All right. Due to our technical issues, there will probably be no more further music for the remainder of Shenanigans today, until I can sort out these problems. Play your own music, everybody. Go to Tabletop Audio and play a skirmish soundtrack and maybe Dungeon 1 in a separate tab at the same time, if you want.
I mean, I'm definitely
proper
listening
immersion.
to Renegade by Styx, so.
Or you can listen to Renegade by Styx. Or
I'm
whatever.
just playing the
Bastion's
Baldur's
listening
Gate music.
to. That works too. Whatever
That is-
you want. All right, so you kick the dog for 4 points of damage, and we're going to roll into the next round. Initiative, everybody.
No, I'm not doing anything.
The dog goes at 9 again.
I also go at 9.
All right. The dog takes an aim at your juicy, meaty leg with its big teeth and gets a 17 plus 1 is 18 to hit.
Should I tell you my AC? Just
If it's greater than 18, I definitely need to
it's
know right now.
23.
How is it 23 without any armor?
15 base from being a satyr, 4 from dex, +2 from defensive from power skills and powers, +2 from fighting style D.
All right, hold on. Let's walk through this because this sounds like a load of bullshit to me.
Satyrs have a base AC of 15.
Hold on. I'm gonna check you on each of these as we go along, so we can all do this. Trust but verify. Exactly, Connor.
All right,
it's like
let's
you're in my
play
brain. How do you
Dungeons
know
and
this shit?
verify your player's stat line, people.
It's actually lawyers and layers. Come on. Or,
Let's
sorry,
see.
layers and lawyers.
So
If a creature
15
wears armor
base
that
from
is-
being a satyr.
All right, 15 based from being a satyr. Got it.
Then I have 18 dex, so +4 from that.
Okay, just let
Your
me...
sheet is telling me that I have +4 from that, all
No,
right?
that is correct. That is correct. I'm just
Then-
sorting through this to take a look. Satyrs do get +1 to dex. You must have rolled another 17. You always have characters with 18s in their stats.
No,
How do you roll so
I
well
didn't roll
all
an
the
18.
time?
I rolled 117, all right?
I know. I'm just saying, you always have
The rest of my
characters with
stats-
18s, and I never know how you get 18s for all your characters somehow. It's amazing.
I mean,
You've got good
40
luck.
61. Also,
Mhm.
anyway, Quaffia didn't have any 18s. The centaur also didn't have any 18s.
I'm just saying. It's
Anyway,
fine.
anyway, +2 from martial arts fighting style D,
Okay, hold on. Let me look at martial arts.
which gives me +2 while I'm unarmed and unarmored.
Let's see, unarmed combat. Fighting style D. Says dodge and blocks. Character make 1 free block each round in addition to any attacks he makes. If unarmed and unarmored, the character receives a AC bonus of 2. All right, that brings you to 21.
And skills and powers defensive bonus if you're unarmed and unarmored and unencumbered.
Unarmored and okay, so 22 AC with absolutely no armor and being nakedly strapped to a wall.
23.
23. This, my fine friends, is why we don't use the skills and powers in our regular campaigns, because this is bullshit, but this
Well,
is
to be fair-
shenanigans, so it's
to be
totally
fair,
legit. It's
I
shenanigans,
use
so
no
it's fine.
weapons. It's like my other satyr character. Normally, they don't fight. That's only a defensive martial art. Ever seen Ip Man or something? There's a reason why they never get hit normally. They have 23 AC.
Yeah, but he's not a level 1 fighter. He's a level 20 fighter. Right? Right? Okay.
To be fair, his AC was always 23 or something because it doesn't ever increase.
Right. Okay. Well,
Anyway,
the
yeah.
dog misses you with an 18 then.
Yes, people, but I'm not fighting. It's not a character made for fighting. It's a character made for not getting hit. That's the thing.
Your
Also,
turn,
I'm knocking-
Bastion.
I'm
Your
knocking the dog
turn.
out for 14.
That will hit the dog, yeah.
All right. And that's 8 points of damage.
You
little
definitely
bit.
knock out the dog. It is
All right.
KO'd. Give me a strength check.
Do I want low on this?
I don't know. Ooh. And give me a 1d8. Because when you kick the dog, it goes flying, but in what direction? You know, did you kick it away from you or towards you or into the ground? 5. 1 is away from you. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think it was like a kick downward, and the dog goes splat on the ground, like right at your feet, maybe even like dragging towards you. It's maybe like a backwards kick into its head. So the dog ends up like underneath your feet against the wall.
I just shove him a little bit away from me and like, oh, see, now you're sleeping. Now you're
that's one way to do it.
Yeah. And you know what? I actually put him like in like a dog sleeping position, shove him a little bit away from me and put him like in a dog sleeping position. Well, this was at least somewhat exciting. I saw what you were trying to do. A shame that didn't work.
Yeah. Well, now we got nothing left to do until he comes back in thinking.
Well, I could tell you a story about that one time where I met, you know, that, what was it? The two female goblins. For goblins, they are quite attractive, I have to say. And he goes on about another story about a satyr having fun.
Wonderful. You guys just gonna shoot the shit and wait for the next?
I mean, I don't
appearance?
have much of a choice here.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
At least we probably know that the dog won't try again.
Half an hour later or so, the door opens one more time after some soft padding footsteps, and the same voice comes back in, and it says, well, well, well. Are you ready to talk now?
Shh, the papa is sleeping.
Killer? Killer, come here.
Oh, look at him. He's all target out.
Killer? And with a word, the room is illuminated by multiple floating puffballs of light. The figure standing atop this 5-foot staircase or so that's unwalled, unguarded, it's pushed against one side of the wall, but like, you know, the other rail is missing, is 5'6", 5'8", something like that, sort of a shortish human male with white hair, wrinkles throughout his faces, but still like crisp blue eyes that are darting around.
Faces.
His eyes quickly...
Faces?
Faces?
Oh, you just said... Never mind.
Never mind. I don't know. His darting eyes focus on the dog at the satyr's feet.
Don't worry. He was just playing around, so he got himself a little bit tired. He's all right. Just sleep. What?
He comes down the staircase, making sure to stay more than, 10 feet
Dog's
from you.
length.
It wasn't me.
Well, well, well. We have a mouthy one, and I don't know what to think about you, satyr. Kicky one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe a little bit more exposition will change your minds. You see, Desmond stole my name. He stole my girl. He stole my magic sword. And then he went off and did all of his things, crediting himself with them, when really, it was all mine.
Wait.
All mine.
The satyr turns to Shag. How old is this Desmond?
Not as old as this guy.
Well, doesn't really matter, but isn't it possible for multiple people to have the same name?
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't born Desmond, you know. That was the name he stole from me after he stole my magic sword.
Well, could you tell us more? That sounds like a really good story. Like, crazy good story.
He eyes you for a moment.
What?
You're unnaturally friendly with him despite being chained up in his dungeon. And it's really unsettling.
I mean, that does sound like a good story. Isn't that right, my kobold friend?
Yeah, sure.
Back then, I was known as Desmond. And he was the second son of the second father of a woman. So we just called him Tutu. And one night, while I was out with my friends after having come back from slaying a whole horde of ogres with my sword that easily strikes heads from shoulders, got a little drunk. We passed out in a comfortable corner of a tavern, and when I awoke, the sword was gone. And we saw little Tutu in the fields, swinging it back and forth, headed himself a scarecrow. And my girlfriend saw him with the sword.
What was your girlfriend's name?
Elizabeth.
Merle.
And then the two of them ran off. I chased them through the fields. After my sword, they hopped on a little boat in the lake and rowed out. There I was, sitting on the shore, standing on the shore, really, watching that evil little man rowing away with my prized possessions.
Wait,
And
how
many
old
magic
was...
swords did you have? How many magic swords did you have?
Just the one.
Alright.
Well, Christian, how old is this Desmond's wife again?
I don't have that information.
All right. It's probably rude to ask.
Yeah, that's why I don't have that information.
It's immaterial to our workings here.
Well, I mean, you'd obviously have a grudge against that Desmond. Why not go there yourself and settle it?
I tried once. But his magic sword cannot defeat one with it. So I changed my ways. I left the martial arts behind. And I studied spells, magic. Things that a sword is useless against. By the time I was ready to face him, he had grown too powerful, too connected. Couldn't bring him down so easily. But now that he's retired, in
So
this
you're saying
sleepy
that
little
He
town,
actually did do the things he said he did, and now he's more powerful than you are.
only because he stole my sword and my woman.
Well,
Okay, I'm going to
They
say one.
belong
I'm
to
pretty sure
me.
stealing your woman had nothing to do with exactly how powerful he was.
well, I think
Sounds like
this,
your ambitions were like here, and his were up here, so it's your own fault, bud.
I think this all begs a whole different question. If you are quite powerful, a powerful spellcaster, what do you think? Well, you saw wherever you took me from, and I don't know what our kobold friend can do, but I don't know what we can do about that.
Well, that's what we're here to solve. A decades-old grudge has finally come to fruition.
And how do you plan to solve it?
All in good time, small, fuzzy ones. Yes. By now you're wondering why I picked the two small, fuzzy creatures out of the whole assortment of monsters.
I'm not the greatest, the biggest setter, but I have it where it counts.
To be honest, you looked smaller in the dark when I picked you up. You're a little bit taller now than I realize.
Just get on
Well,
with it.
that is, to be honest, that is not the first time I heard that. Wink, wink.
Very uncomfortable. This is supposed to be
You're
a
not the one
frightening
chained up right next to
interrogation.
him.
Well, I have to say, it is not my first or second time I was bound by something.
My God.
If you...
All right, how about this? You, he says, pointing to Shag. Are you willing to talk, or I'll leave you chained up with the satyr overnight?
Well, I have
I'll
many more
even bring
stories.
him some alcohol.
Oh, that
and I'll
would be lovely.
Excellent. And he leaves and brings back a bottle of brew that he had found right next to you. And he corks it, or I guess it's already corked, and he like rolls it across the floor towards your feet, making sure to stay 10 feet away the whole time. And then leaves and shuts the door, leaving Shag with a drunken satyr.
Well, he has not drank anything yet.
Not
He's
yet.
like, he takes the bottle, uncorks it.
Stop. Cork it back real quick. Just real quick. Just real quick.
God damn it. We're going to break again, guys.